For those who don't know me, I'm Michael Jacobson. I'm President and CEO of the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to the 2017-2018 Arlington Independent School District State of the District Luncheon. Most of you have heard about the mission of the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. Together we champion economic and community prosperity. The accomplishments being made by the Board of Trustees and by our superintendent and by the teachers and principals and administrators, everybody involved in the district, you will be the ones who help us achieve that mission because you're creating for us a labor force that will drive our business success, drive innovation, and we are absolutely thankful for the work that the district does in helping drive this economic engine that we have in Arlington. And it's an economic engine that I can tell you is going strong. Dr. Cavazos, every year we come here, there's accolades, right? So he's superintendent, well, the board was board of the year in 2014, superintendent of the year this year. I think there's some U.S. superintendent thing that may be in, maybe the UN after that. We'll see. But I know we're glad to have you in Arlington. We're very proud of you, glad that you're here in our district. Let's give him a... Before we begin this program, I invite the Honor Guard from the Texas 31st Air Force Junior ROTC to present the colors. The cadets representing all Arlington ISD high schools are instructed by Major David T. Gray, United States Air Force retired.
Present arms.
For the opportunities our country offers our students, let's all say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Order. Arms. Right, haste, forward, march, up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4.
All right, thanks very much to the Honor Guard. Today is made possible, everybody can take your seats now, is made possible through the generous support from our business community. And as I said, we have a record group in this room. It's wonderful that we have a challenge that this room is getting too small for this event, but that's a great challenge to have. But I want to thank all the folks that make this event possible, and that's our sponsors. And the good news is, as we'll see in a minute, I think that's almost all the people in this room, and so we really do appreciate it. Today's presenting sponsor is Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at Arlington. And you see them all over the community. They are fully engaged. We appreciate them very much. Here to say a few words is the CEO, Alan Beck.
Well, we're really excited about sponsoring this event today. This is, we have a lot of great things going on in our community, in our school district, and this is a great venue and forum to hear the details. We've been in the community for about 7.5 years. In that, we've seen tremendous growth in our facility. In that, we've reinvested in our facility, just completing an expansion this last year, also reinvesting in innovation and patient experience at our facility. We call our facility the hidden gem in orthopedics, and we say that for both the state and national recognition that we receive for patient quality and patient satisfaction. Now, we are part of Baylor Healthcare System, which means we are part of a Christian ministry, so I'd like to do a spiritual quote today. From the Bible, Luke chapter 12, verse 48. In summary, to whom much is given, much is required. And we believe that firmly at Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at Arlington. We believe that with our success, we have an obligation in giving back to the community and those that we serve. We actually have a program, we call it a charity care program at our facility, and I'm happy to say over the last 7.5 years, we've consistently given over $1 million of care free to those in need in our community with medical and financial needs. Thank you. To further that, our board, which consists of Baylor Scott and White Health, United Surgical Partners, and Arlington Orthopedic Associates, enhanced that commitment about 2 years ago with the development of our community benefit program. In that program, we have 4 main pillars. The first, patient needs, led by our charity care program, but also supporting great organizations in our community, such as Mission Arlington, Cornerstone, Project Access Tarrant County, and Faith in Practice. Our second pillar, culture and arts, was supporting great organizations in our community like the Levitt Pavilion and River Legacy Foundation. Our third pillar, children and families, and supporting organizations like the Boys and Girls Club of Arlington, which I'm proud to be a part of, but also Arlington Urban Ministries and Young Life Arlington. And fourth, and the reason we're here today, education. We're a firm supporter of education in our community, both private and public, supporting schools and different education foundations in our community. One of our strongest partnerships is with the Arlington Independent School District Education Foundation under the leadership of Brian White. Their organization does great work through the school district, and we're happy to support their efforts. So we're very happy to live and work in this great community of Arlington, and we're happy to be the presenting sponsor for this year's State of the District Address. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alan. We appreciate it for your investment in the city. We appreciate you being so engaged with the chamber. I appreciate you being on the board. We're going to now mention all of our sponsors, and Henry is getting bolder and bolder in the script. You see, you can't see this, but it's very bold. Please hold your applause until all have been mentioned, but I disregard that. He's trying to get the point bigger and bigger. Don't worry about it. If you want to applaud for yourself as we go through. Our superintendent level sponsors are Dan Dipert Companies, Engage to Learn, and Linebarger, Attorneys at Law. We have also superintendent level Payco Southwest Realty. Purdue, Jim's not going to be happy with y'all. Y'all can holler louder. Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott, LLP. Stripazone Pavement Marking. The University of Texas at Arlington. Our principal level sponsors are Affiliated Bank, Brackett and LSPC, the City of Arlington, the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau, J.P. Morgan Chase, Derek Kinney and Associates, Jim Ross Law Group, LBL Architects, Encore Electric Delivery, Tarrant County College Southeast Campus, Texas Trust Credit Union. There we go. Our teacher level sponsors are Arlington Board of Realtors. All right. Arlington ISD Education Foundation. Arlington Today. The Brown Reynolds Watford Architects. Cornett and Hafer LLP, the EST Group, Frost Bank, Rush Human Resources, Southwest Bank, Texas Rangers Baseball, University of Texas at Arlington Athletics, Workforce Solutions for Tarrant County. Our media sponsor is the Star Telegram. Our printing sponsor is Digital Corporate Companies, and our photography is provided by Southern Flair Photography. We thank everybody for your sponsorship. The Arlington Chamber of Commerce is proud to be associated with the Arlington ISD. We do thank the Board of Trustees and Dr. Cavazos for the great partnership that we have. And we have programs ranging from scholarships to mentorship. We have something called What's Your Big Idea contest, and I think they're going to show a slide here in a second. So for those who don't attend, this is actually the largest event that the Arlington Chamber of Commerce puts on. That's about, how many thousand, Henry? 4,000? 4,000 people that file into UTA to watch students in Arlington being recognized for their entrepreneurship and their innovation skills. It's a great day. I want to draw attention to it because it's not always the same chamber crowd that's at this event, but you know you should be at this event. It's actually a spectacular day. All right, so now they say it's time to start the formal part, so I guess this has been the informal part. So I'm going to ask our school board president, Dr. Aaron Reich, to come up to the podium. And as he approaches, let's show our appreciation for not only him, but for the entire board. Thank y'all.
And for the next 3 hours, I will go through school board governance and what it means for academic achievement. Just kidding. Just a few short minutes from me for some remarks. First off, what a great way to kick off our new school year. In 17 days, we have over 63,000 students that will be showing up through the doors of 74 campus facilities in our district. It's a wonderful thing that happens year in and year out. I can't thank everybody in the district enough, especially our educators, our teachers. You are literally on the front lines of our future. If you are a teacher and present, can you please stand and be recognized? I'll have to tell you, for me personally, as president, it's an honor to be here representing an amazing, outstanding board and superintendent team. I want to personally thank those of you that are able to be here today, and I do want to say that our Secretary Keisha Mays, our Vice President John Hibbs, and past President Bowie Hogg had other commitments, some out of town, and just were not physically able to be here today. Otherwise, they absolutely would be. For my colleagues, I want to thank each of you. Together, we lead by example. We serve at the will of the community. We try to do what we can to impact student outcomes. That's on the forefront of our minds every day. It's an honor for me to serve with you. Thank you for bestowing the honor of being able to lead our team as we go through the next year forward. This past year has been phenomenal. What we try to do is along the lines of what our community expects, which is nothing but excellence. And we do everything we can all the time to make sure that we are delivering that on that promise that we have to you as a community. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Walton and Ms. Hudson. They've already been acknowledged, but please, thank you. Stand up, please. And now we come to Mrs. Sullins. Many of you in this room, the word has gotten out, so you may or may not have heard that last night at our board meeting, Mrs. Sullins announced her retirement from the AISD school board. This is due to family reasons. The Sullins are relocating away from Arlington, and it's, as such, not being in the district, she won't be able to be eligible to sit as a trustee. Otherwise, I guarantee she would not be going anywhere. We're very happy for her. We're happy for your family, the new opportunities that await you, Jamie. But we're also very sad. We're losing a great team member, a great leader, and a great student advocate. Thank you for your years of dedication, tireless service to our district and to our students. And with that, can we have a round of applause, please? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So, as a board, over the past year, we've continued to enhance our internal operations so that we can continue to function ever more efficiently and effectively for our district. Our model enhances our communication between the district and the operations of the district, and our task is governance. And what that affords our superintendent in the district is to really do what is best for our students, allows them more time to do that. And that's really our focus, is to let them run as fast as they can because they're doing such great work. Over this past year, we've been witness to success happening every day in this district. In the past year, there have been more than 4,000 graduates, many that are going to universities all over the country, starting with excellence in our own backyard right here at UTA. Thank you, UTA. All the way to virtually every Ivy League in the nation. That's a great testimony of what public education provides, what it is, what it stands for, and what the output is here in AISD. And by the way, that graduation number also accompanies multi-millions in scholarships, multi-millions of dollars. I'd like to let you know that we passed a budget that continues to support our students and our teachers as much as we possibly can. We know that we have to do everything we can to support our teachers, giving them the best tools available and the best environment possible to lead and empower and embrace those young minds, which are our future. Our goal is, through that budget, to push the envelope of academic engagement and opportunity, and we are continually striving to do that. The district, it continues to win awards for financial reporting and accountability. It's implementing leadership development on a level like no other district. You'll hear more about that later. It's truly phenomenal. We continue to be extremely active advocating as a board for our initiatives that are important for our students through legislative agenda, through testimony in Austin, through written and verbal communications with our legislators and committees and committee chairs. Thank you for the legislative staffs that are here. I think we have a great relationship with each and every one of you, and we will continue to work with you and provide whatever support you need to make sure that the needs of our students are met. The board here, we will continue, as on the legislative front, continue to fight for local control, true local control, suitable funding, relief from unfunded mandates, proper accountability systems, and support academic achievement programs. As Michael mentioned, we are in the midst of a legislative special session right now. We're very busy with that and active as a board. And I just want to say I appreciate all of you who are engaged with us in that process as we continue to advocate. The business and community support that is evident in this room reflects the importance of public education excellence. Thank you all so much for being here. It is so important. Thank you to the Chamber, today's sponsors, guests for partnering with us, for supporting us and being here. It's truly remarkable, really, to have so many organizations, education leaders, city, county, state, foundation, and business leaders working together to strengthen the future of our community through our students. On all of those topics that I've mentioned, there's some type of collaboration, there's some type of partnership. Thank you so much for that. Without you, we can't do it together. We govern as a board, and our superintendent leads like no other, but he and his staff and our teachers, we need everybody in this room and beyond to make it work for our students. With that, I would say, Dr. Ferguson, on behalf of Dr. Tribari, Dr. Coppola, thank you in advance for the things you have not yet said yes to that Marcelo is going to ask. And for everybody else in the room. I'll say Arlington is the American Dream City. With our education partners, we can also make it the education destination. And we need to work together to make that happen. Through our work with our Achieve Today, Excel Tomorrow strategic plan, the active learning cycle, the 2014 bond program, which is huge, and much more that you'll hear about today, the AISD is where potential gets real. Students in the Arlington ISD have opportunities that have never been available before. Our Career and Technical Center and our Agricultural Science Center, and on that note, the Career Tech Center, of course, recently named the AISD Dan Dipert Career Tech Center. Congratulations, Dan. These two incredible facilities, state-of-the-art, world-class, will be opening this fall. They will allow students to earn college credit and certifications that have not been available to our district before. You have heard in previous addresses that we have gone from 10 to 12 to 16 certifications to 34. That number is continuing to rise, and that's all because of the efforts of everybody working together. Wonderful doors of opportunity opening for our students. Our Fine Arts and Dual Language Academies and our STEM Academy, they're entering, if you can believe it, their 3rd year. That's remarkable. What that means is for Fine Arts and Dual Language, we have 2nd graders now that are speaking Spanish and some Mandarin Chinese, much over my head. And they are afforded more exposure to the largest number of fine arts available, more than any other. It's truly incredible. The STEM Academy, they have, as their 3rd year, juniors now. They'll be graduating next year. It's remarkable the rigor that they are exposed to, the coursework that they are exposed to through the great collaboration with UTA. Thank you again very much. Just incredible opportunities. That program is bursting at the seams, and we are constantly explaining to the community why we can't open up another one just yet. And that's a great problem to have. We want to make sure, our superintendent wants to make sure that any new initiative is implemented with the right amount of finesse and fidelity to produce the most positive outcome and successful outcome. So we've got to get through the first layer, the first group cohort, and then maybe we'll look at expanding. So just a note there. Additionally, our Arlington Collegiate High School, they will have their first class of seniors this year, already seniors. Dr. Coppola, your partnerships, TCC, thank you so very much. It is absolutely changing the lives of students. There's much more information about that will be revealed here in just a few minutes. So I'd like to say it does take every one of us to ensure our students are exceptionally prepared. In line with our strategic plan, it's for college and/or career of their choice, and also to be good citizens so that they can contribute back to our community. It also takes an incredible leader for our district, which is Dr. Cavazos. You have led tremendous transformations in this district. You have operationalized beautifully the vision that we all set together with you for the district. Thank you. Thank you to your staff, to everybody from you all the way down. You're always aiming for improvement, always with the student in mind. That's what it really is about. So with that said, I know Michael has stated this, but I don't think we can repeat it enough. Last year at this event, we announced that Dr. Cavazos was the Region 11 Superintendent of the Year. He is the State of Texas Superintendent of the Year. Thank you for leading. Thank you for raising the bar and exposure of Arlington ISD, because it does help on all kinds of levels. And with that, I will introduce and bring up Dr. Cavazos.
Good afternoon, or good evening. I'm kidding. I shouldn't start so early, right? It seems like just yesterday I was here doing the State of the District, and it seems like the tables are getting a little further and further back. The screen is right here if you don't know that, and I'm having a harder time seeing it, I guess, but don't be concerned. This year we've added a different element because you hear from me, and you hear from me, and you hear from me, and so the different element is, where's Mercedes? Mercedes? We're going to have a microphone where you can actually, I'll call on some people, and you can actually give us a summary of the question that I ask. Fair enough? Seems like the tension has risen. But the other thing we can do is I can cut the mic too. So we don't lose complete autonomy here. But so with that, we'll begin with our one goal as a district, and that is 100% of our students will graduate exceptionally prepared for college, career, and citizenship. And that's pervasive in our school system. And you're going to hear that throughout the rest of the presentation. Everything is centered on that. And you've heard me say before, 100% because every student matters. And so it's 100% that'll graduate not only prepared, but exceptionally prepared. And so we asked some people throughout the community as part of a study and kind of our own calibration. We've asked some people, teachers, stakeholders, et cetera, what they thought resonated most about the Arlington Independent School District. And what resonated most, these are just a summary statements here. You can see them on the screen. The screen should be big enough for everyone to see. Bill. The future is being built through education. Every child has great potential. Opportunities exist today that have never existed before. These are things that our community has said. And we asked them, so what does this mean as you put together kind of a summarizing thought about AISD? Brings real resources, real convictions, real opportunity to help our students be successful and our staff be successful. And so we went through a process where we try to summarize that even more. And what's our promise? What are the things we're trying to accomplish for young people? And when they're with us for a short period of time, what are we trying to accomplish? And the promise is that where potential gets real, and you heard Aaron, Dr. Reich, allude to that. And when you think about Arlington ISD, and when you think of the young people in our system, and even the adults, where potential gets real is really significant. Because what that means is that, number one, we're intentional about it. And we're not leaving it to chance. You've heard me say that about 70% of our students are economically disadvantaged. For 100% of our students, doesn't matter your background, we don't leave it to chance. Because if we leave it to chance, then we kind of tell ourselves that, you know, it's somebody else's responsibility, and it's not. It's our responsibility. And so when we talk about where potential gets real, you look at that picture, and you see a variety of students, from special needs to graduates. We serve all students in Arlington ISD. And in public education, well over 90% of our students are in a public school. And so your investment, your time, your energy, our collaboration today, our conversation is really important for the future of education. And so when you talk about potential getting real, it takes all of us, as Dr. Reich said. It's not just a teacher function, it's not a superintendent function exclusively, it's a community function. And I would challenge it's a nation responsible for this development of our country, because we are in that development phase. We still are. You know, we have many, many things to achieve together. So potential gets real really resonated with our community. Some examples of that, as you've heard a little bit ago, our dual language fine arts program, our early college high school, and I know it's a longer name, Tarrant County College something, but we call it the AISD Early College High School. Is that okay? All right. Okay. That's not what's on the building, right, Ben? It's something much longer, but today we'll call it the Tarrant County College AISD Early College High School. All right. And we have our STEM Academy and our partnership. And this is just an example of when a student wants to realize their potential. We don't wait until they're after or out of high school. We don't wait until somebody else takes over. Our perspective is that they realize their potential. They start realizing their dreams while they're with us. And that's a big push in our school district to make sure that everybody in the system thinks that way, to make sure that students are able to start realizing their dreams. So what does that mean? It means you have to be prepared for the grade level, but you have to have accelerated opportunities. You have to have special pathways, special ways to get to your dreams. Because I'll argue, you know, with anybody who says that students, you know, while they're in public schools or before they graduate from high school, they can't, you know, kind of frame all those things about what they want to do or what they want to accomplish. I'll argue with anybody about that. Because when you ask a student, they are expecting success. When you ask a parent, they're expecting success. When you ask us, any one of us, we're expecting success. And so that's with that lens and that focus. So special choice programs are real important. We continue to expand those in the district and very successful, as you've already heard. So we'll go to fine arts, another big investment in Arlington ISD. The fine arts is something that we treasure. We know has been invested by many kind of boards and administrations prior to today, and we value that. And we make sure that that arts program is leveraged. And so what you see there are students with new instruments and new uniforms, right? And so that, you know, you may think, well, that's nice, it's a nice resource, But what it means is that students have access. They have access to the arts. And when you have access to the arts, all kinds of great things happen. Participation, cognitive development, all those things happen. And that's what we're committed to. So, Jeremy Earnhardt is our Director of Fine Arts. What do the arts do for a student in our school system?
High potential student-teacher ratios, so how you organize them is going to have a direct implication on the district's bottom line. They help increase attendance, graduation rates, and test scores. So if I could leave you with one thing today, it is that strong fine arts programs are a high-yield investment in our students, schools, and community.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jeremy. We didn't plan this, and so the standard's high, has nowhere else to go but higher, okay? So you look at our investment and what it's produced, and I'll let you just take a good look at that. This is our fine arts enrollment throughout our school system. Since we implemented no fees for instruments and access for all. And so you see a 22% increase overall in the arts program, 15% in secondary band and orchestra, and 17% in 5th and 6th grade strings. This is an opportunity and a door that students go through to their future. Because in education, it's not just about a test score. And we heard that our legislators are still in Austin trying to figure out ways to help us. They can stop. They can stop. This is being live streamed, so maybe they're watching. But if not, the people that do the real work are here. Anyway, it's not about a test score. It's not about a school grade, A through F and all that other stuff. Not about that. It's about a student progressing through a system where they can be successful and they are actualized and realized and can actually have a sustainable future. That's what education's about. And we sometimes muddle it with other stuff. Okay, so we'll keep going. So our fine arts, a little bit more on fine arts. Sam Houston High School band enrollment has really soared. 126% increase. Yeah. And so Jeremy, the same guy who just spoke, did this little slide to demonstrate that. Where we were before. And this is kind of a marching band, and you can see they're trying to spell something out. All right, and here's where we are now. You can spell Sam Houston. All right. We have all kinds of creative people here in the system. All right. And you know that our Fine Arts Center is that capstone resource that we're going to provide for our students. It's going to be built in the entertainment district, Division Street property. And this is a rendition, a very early rendition of our Fine Arts Center. But what it means is that there's also a big investment, an investment in people, but also resources for them to realize their dreams. So the Fine Arts Center is something opening fall of 2020. All right, we move on. Where potential gets real is actualized, and we'll use some data because some of you are very linear and very much focused on data, so we can put some data up here about our academic achievement and some highlights. The results are not final for STAR and the accountability. That all happens at the end of August. But you'll see that we had growth in math, 6th grade and 4th grade in particular, outpaced the state in some of that growth, Algebra 1 and grade 8 science, and outpacing the state. Again, this is not our focus, but if I don't mention it, somebody will inevitably say, well, what about the test scores? So here's a preview of the test scores. Our schools are focused on much more than that, but we don't leave that to chance either, because we know that that's important as students matriculate through our system and others. All right, so we have some recent accomplishments, and notice I'm not reading this to you because there's no point in doing that. There's too many words, but you can read it, and you'll see just some recent accomplishments of our school system. Many, many schools, 38 of them, received distinctions for their performance. Bailey and Seguin, Best Urban Schools, recognized for that. AISD named the Best Community for the Arts. Arlington Collegiate, Shackelford, etc., Texas Honor School, Schools. And then this is one that we've been kind of on the edge of this one and haven't really broken in until now. So it's a big accomplishment in that U.S. News Best High Schools Award for our early college high school. So congratulations to that. So some recent accomplishments for to bring it more to a student level, right? So this young lady, and she could not be here today. They're out of the city today, but they gave us permission because she was recognized. So Melanie Cedillo is a sixth grader at Bryant Elementary and was named one of the 15 students nationwide to receive this Read 180 award for her success. And an important, just to give you a flavor of the fact that our focus is on student success at all levels and in all conditions. So Melanie was not reading on grade level, and she was struggling. And we had a teacher at Bryant, a principal at Bryant, and her support group there, who doubled down and focused and worked with the parent and worked with her to bring her up to speed in reading. And Melanie did so well that she was awarded this most growth by, in terms of a reading achievement and learning to read. And this is a success story that I think it's important to note, because sometimes we focus in on how the high performers and all these people are so successful, and we never really think about the fact that at some point, we all struggle with something. Some of us still struggling, but we all struggle with something, right? And so there's a development process. There's an experience that students have in a school system. Melody is a great example, because I went to that recognition where she was recognized, presented a check, which always helps, and she was just beaming, and her mom was just beside herself, saying, you know, we love this school. We couldn't. This has changed our lives. Has changed her life forever, because she learned to read, and got caught up grade level reading. Small successes in many people's eyes. Tremendous success in the lives of a student and a parent and a family. And it's that investment, that success every day that our teachers are focused in on. And so another one that we talk about real quick, Cooper Philpott. He's an 8th grader at Bailey Junior High, was recognized as that kind, service-oriented spirit. One of 15 students to receive a State Board of Education award for his service to Safe Haven. And if you know anything about Safe Haven, they're working with people who are in desperate need and in despair. And this young man organizes parties and celebrations for the youngest of the people at Safe Haven. And he's done that over and over and over. And not looking for any big reward, not looking for any big recognition, just focused on how can I make this world a better place. Small successes in the eyes of very many, tremendous success in the eyes of this young man and his impact on the future of not only Arlington, but the state. So we're going to move on. Our Career Tech Center, or Career Tech Academies, and you've seen some of these, so I'm going to go rather quickly, but it reinforces that point that potential gets real. Fire Academy, Police Academy, thank you, Will, for your support for the Police Academy. Our Teacher Academy, where our students are already engaged in education courses to become teachers. These academies are other ways that students become realized and successful. Next, we're going to talk about, because this is kind of the highlight of the beginning of the year, and that is our Career Tech Center. And our Career Tech Center, you'll see the 17 new career programs. I won't read those to you. But these have not existed in Arlington. They were not a part of a curriculum, of an opportunity. If you were a student last year, you graduated, you didn't have this in your option. And this year, a group of students, and for a long time, will have these options. 4,709 students will be served at our Career Tech Center. Already registered, already ready to come to our Career Tech Center. And just an amazing act in getting all this ready, but also the fact that our students are taking advantage of these opportunities and are ready to make their potential real. So in our board meeting, when we named the board, designated the name as Dan Dipert, he had an opportunity to speak. Dan did. And he couldn't. Right, Dan? Not common, but he was overwhelmed. So our microphone, Mercedes is there, and now, Dan, the same rule applies. With all respect, brief. But Dan, the question is this: is how do you feel being the namesake of this opportunity that'll live on for generations to come in Arlington?
Nothing has changed since that night. Speechless and honored. That's it. But I have a question for you.
Dan? No, Dan. See, we knew this might happen. And we've run out of time.
I'm going to
No,
ask.
go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
How soon are you going to get my name on the side of that building?
Well, benevolence goes from this transformation to just what is it for me, right? So Dan, it's on its way, okay? It will be. It will have a nice dedication, all that. But thank you, Dan, for your endless support of our students. Exactly. It's on its way. Yeah, on a bus. Thank you. That was good, Judge. I almost missed that one, Judge. Yeah. On a bus. Okay. So with this Career Tech Center program, there's some of the pictures. The other individuals that do this work and are doing this work every day and are prepared is our principal and our assistant principal. Ginger Polster and Tommy Moore have already, they were named last year before the building was even built. You had work to do, didn't you? Yeah? I'm sure, because you were named a whole year ahead almost. Yeah. And so Ginger is here as the principal of this Career Tech Center who's going to welcome 4,000 students over 2 days in A-B schedule. And Ginger, thank you for accepting the microphone, Ginger. They don't have to do this, by the way. I shouldn't give you that clue. So Ginger, what should a student expect in terms of their opportunity when they go to the Career Tech Center of the building you're leading?
When they walk in, they are absolutely going to be wowed to see all the opportunities that they have and the commitment from a district and a community that believes in them and where they can realize their full potential. And for us, it's not just about them walking across the stage and they're going to realize that. We're going to put that seamless entry back into the workforce or college or wherever it is that they want to go. It's more than just a high school diploma. It's about workforce and supporting myself and breaking that cycle for my families. That's what they're going to see. They're going to see a passionate staff that loves learning. The experience that we're bringing to those students is outstanding and just phenomenal. So they're absolutely going to be wowed. And when they leave us, they will be empowered to take that next step.
Fantastic, Ginger. Thank you. Thank you. Ginger has an open invitation to anybody in here who wants to come the first day of school. Right, Ginger? So we've got also our Ag Science Center. Our Ag Science Center is another opportunity for students that we didn't have in Arlington. And there is a big interest in agricultural science. And so this is being built. Actually, it's in DWG, and it's being built, and it'll be available for students starting in October. And these are opportunities that students otherwise would not have. So where does this lead? We talk about the opportunities of a young person learning to read and career tech and all that. And so where it leads is to a strong effort, a purposeful, intentional effort for workforce development. And Tarrant County College and AISD are focused on making sure that the workforce development, and that doesn't mean you get out of high school and you go straight to work necessarily. It means how are we developing you as a young person to be prepared for the challenges and the opportunities that exist. So workforce development is something that we are continually working on, have a lot of partnerships for, but there's a next level to that Arlington should be excited about. And so Mercedes, where are you? Yeah, this guy right here that hates this stuff. Bill Capola is the president of TCC. Bill, what is this workforce development? What does it mean for the future?
Let me first say,
Again, we knew this would happen. Go ahead.
This is a wonderful partnership between our two institutions. And I first heard about this partnership 4 years ago in this room. You said it.
That's right.
It was up on the screen. So we had to get to work with it. We are real excited about the partnership in workforce education. Our role as a community college has always been to build a workforce for a city, for a community, prepare individuals to be successful and civilly minded. But we know now that that has to start as early as possible in a student's educational career. And the Cate Center, we call it the Cate Center, but the Career Technology Center is one that is nothing like it in the country, in a partnership with Tarrant County College and with Arlington ISD. And I want to thank you for including us.
Thank you, Bill. Thank
And
you.
I kept it short.
Absolutely. All right, so we move on to another where potential gets real. And you've heard a little bit about the early college high schools, the fact that they have a senior class now. We partnered with UTA to make sure that students who are done in terms of their associates, and by the way, they're supposed to get their high school diploma and associate's degree upon graduating from high school, 4 years, in essence. We have a number of students in this program who in 3 years have their associate's degree. And it's just beyond our expectations. But there is no limit in learning when students are engaged and given opportunities. And so the students that are done, in essence, with their associates, right, we wanted to make sure that we didn't stop that pathway while they were with us for the senior year. So UTA, and we worked hard with Ashley. Where's Ashley? I know she was here somewhere. Hi, Ashley. We won't give you a microphone unless you want one. Okay, so Ashley worked really hard with us, mostly, convincing Vistas, but he's not here, so, but it worked, Ashley. So what we did was we partnered so that our students can start their bachelor's degree while in high school. It's that simple. Start your bachelor's degree. And so there are a number of degree programs that UTA has customized. You don't have to go to UTA, is the message to our early college high school students. However, you can start taking your bachelor's degree courses while you're a senior. And we'll provide transportation, tuition, etc. And so these are degree pathways. And one young man was the spokesperson for this group of about 40 to 60 who are done, which is really amazing because we only have 125 as a graduating class. And so one of the spokespersons was Elias, right? And he's here today. And the microphone got closer to him. And so remember, he's a student, and he is already done, in essence. And I say in essence because some grades haven't come in, but I don't foresee a problem. But I just want to be legal and technical. And so, but he'll be starting at UTA. And there was a signing ceremony, because we, Kabari, we make sure we make him sign. That's two on Kabari. That's not nice. That's not nice. No, we have a great relationship. So he signed his commitment, and UTA signed the commitment. So it's a two-way partnership here. They're both committed, right? And the commitment from UTA is we're not going to change the classes once you get here after high school. And that's a big commitment. I try to get them to, we're not going to change the tuition either, but maybe that's a state problem that can be worked out, right? Oh, John, I didn't know you were here, John Hall. He works very closely with Kabari. He's a great guy. Both. All right, Elias, welcome.
Hello.
And so, Elias, tell us a little bit about what this opportunity, not only this one, but the early college and the fact that I think you attended Workman and in our system, what opportunity and what this has done for you, your life, your family, however you want to answer that.
Well, just having been able to take college classes at the collegiate high school without having to worry about tuition or books or etc., it's a great thing for not just only me or my family, but each student's family there as well, because just the whole notion is that, well, look, our city is helping us with our education, and that'll help us later on in life. And furthermore, with UTA, not only being able to do associates, because that's already a lie, but helping us being able to go all the way, get our 4 years, or at least start our 4 years at UTA, that's a lot. That's something that my parents didn't imagine until probably even this year, and it just means a lot for all of us.
Fantastic, Elias. Thank you so much. We could end it here, but who wants to leave, right? All right, so little joke. I'm keeping track of time. Don't worry. There's 2 clocks over there. All right. So the question is, how do we make this a reality? So the first one is where potential becomes real and where students are successful and these kind of experiences and all that. So a little insight into the organization, because this is a big school system and it's made up of a lot of people who are doing this work every day. So how do we make our goal a reality? And you see some pictures of our principals and some students, etc. And so we kind of craft this to kind of paint a picture, and we'll start at kind of high level in terms of what our parents think. And so I'm not going to go through all these details other than to show you that we do a parent engagement survey. We ask our parents every year about the quality of school, are you treated with respect, et cetera, et cetera. And so the most respondents we've ever had was this last year, which means that because we've done it, and after a while there's survey fatigue and all this kind of stuff, right? So you've heard about that without going back into college, right? But we've got more people answering this, and the highest rating we've ever had, 4.40. The most Spanish or non-English completers of surveys than we've ever had. And what that means is that our community, our parents, in many, many parts of this school district are very satisfied and proud of what we're doing and the opportunities they're getting. So this is part of our culture, and so we're building kind of a story of the culture. And the next one is our employee engagement survey. And the employee engagement means our employees, the people who work here every day, how do they feel? Are they engaged? Are they supported? Are they treated well, et cetera? And so you'll see in March of 2017 down at the bottom, 5,500. We have about 8,000 employees. 5,500 employees fill this out. They're not shy. And so they filled this out, and they told us that in many areas throughout our district, they're very engaged and very satisfied. And the people that complete in Spanish. So this is a big voice. So when you hear, and not to get into social media or anything, but when you see 2 people post something or say something, we have thousands of people who we rely on to give us the feedback as well. So there's a big, important balance. And that's really important in education, because a story and a narrative can be skewed in many ways by really a relatively small number of people. And so what we demonstrate is that thousands of people, because we ask, and by the way, there's questions in here about the superintendent and my performance. And so they fill that out rather aggressively. And those are the questions that are always answered, apparently, which brings the scores sometimes high, sometimes low, but they're always answered. But that's the transparency we have and the relationship we have with our employees and our parents. All right, so building on this, how else, what kind of system do we have? What kind of culture do we have? We started a Teacher of the Month. We do Teacher of the Year and et cetera, and those are really important. But we started a Teacher of the Month, which means that on any given day in a particular month, so every month, we go and surprise a teacher at the 2 levels or 3 levels, elementary, junior high, and high school. And we go to their classroom. They don't know we're coming. We're broadcasting Facebook Live, which is really dangerous. We're walking down the hall, and you never know what you're going to capture. But we're going, and we got balloons and a certificate. And we recognize the Teacher of the Month for that month. And without question, every time there's instruction going on, and the students are engaged, and the students are as proud of the teacher as the teacher is of themselves. So we have 2 Teacher of the Months, just that we could bring as representatives here. So, thank you. So Jason from Seguin and Joni from Owsley. And let me just say, you guys were great. What month was that? Do you remember? May? Come on. Just pick a month. No, I'm kidding. That's how this works. No, but here's the real point in this. In these schools, the teachers drive the culture with our students. And it's really important that they not only get recognized, but that we value that. And we've learned that over and over and over, that the teachers are the ones that have the biggest impact on our young people. Why did we pick these 2? Apparently you had like the most views on this video. I don't know if your family was doing that, but and the most likes and comments and all that stuff. Amazing. You had a bunch of stuff on Facebook. So in a good way, you were on Facebook for a lot. of stuff. So congratulations to you. All right, we're going to move on. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. As part of the people that do the work and actually drive a lot of that culture, we have our Principals of the Year. And we have Rennie Lizardo from Carter and Grayson Topreser from Fitzgerald. Would you please stand up? So these are outstanding administrators, outstanding principals. And I'm so proud of them, as I am of the teachers, the Teacher of the Month. But principal leadership is really important. So I'm going to ask Rennie, and then I forgot, so I'm going to ask Joni. So Joni, get ready. But Rennie, what does it mean to be a principal in Arlington ISD?
You know, I think back to about 2 years ago when our CAO, Dr. Wirtz, said, I want to transform this district into being a yes district. When a principal asks for support, they get told either yes or let's do it this way with these resources. And I look around almost every department, world languages, state accountability, technology, I get told yes almost all the time for the things I need. The only time I got told no is when I asked if I could spend my budget money to offer Chuck Norris a full-time security job. They told me that was a responsible use of taxpayer dollars. But other than that, I get told yes. Other than that, I get told yes virtually all the time. The support is incredible. Thank you, Dr.
We have a code, but we won't use it. TMI. No, I'm kidding, Rennie. Thank you, Rennie. Joni, thank you, Rennie. So Joni, real quick, again, real quick because of time. Tell me a little bit about when we went to recognize you and how important it was for the picture to be right. No, not that. For your students.
And thank you for that one.
Yeah. So go ahead, nice. Joni.
The one online was better. Okay, so if you know anything about the junior high art classes, I teach art. My classroom's like at the end of the hall, second floor. So Dr. Cavazos and Leslie and everybody comes up, and I see these balloons coming. And of course, I'm at the end with big windows behind me, and they just keep coming and coming, and I'm like, I can teach in front of kids, but then when I have these adults coming, I get nervous. So I'm looking behind, I'm like, they can't go any farther. It was just amazing. And the kids, and that's why I'm there, because the kids are just amazing. And they were just so happy, and everybody was cheering, and everybody down the hallway. Here they come. Thank you so much.
And thank you for creating a great culture at your school. Thank you. All right, we'll move quickly. These are our bond projects, and I'm not going to go through a bunch of bond pictures because you can find those on the website. But just one slide that we used recently with our board. There are 100 projects currently. It's 100 implementing on the bond. And so we can't do that by ourselves. We've got a great team, a great senior team of senior staff that does tremendous amount of work every day. And so we've talked about principals, teachers, and students, and I really want to take a little bit of time to just talk about our senior team because they're outstanding, our senior leadership. They drive so much of the transformation and improvement in this district. So part of the responsibility of the 100 projects is Cindy Powell's, right? Yeah. So, and she doesn't like the mic coming closer, but it is. But before Cindy says anything, senior staff, if you just kind of wave, yeah? Thank you all. Cindy, the question is this. She doesn't know the question ahead of time. This really bugs Cindy because she wants to know the question ahead of time, right? Cindy, so tell me about just the effort that goes into bond implementation with instruction and everything else.
So first of all, what this means, 100 projects, is that my staff is exhausted. But we work through it. But what we have the opportunity to do here is to bring to reality all the transformation we talk about and things in our strategic plan. It is absolutely thrilling for us. And we do work very closely with instruction, fine arts, athletics, all the users of these great facilities to plan them and design them before we ever start constructing them. And And so it's a great opportunity for us, and we're thrilled to be part of it.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much for your hard work. So in AISD, we have developed an active learning cycle way beyond a need for discussion after lunch right now, other than to say that we want students to experience learning in a certain way in Arlington. And so if you look at that, just very briefly, it's a cycle we want them to go through. We want them to have these experiences in the classroom for every learning cycle that they go through, whether it's a lesson or a unit. We want them to be inspired. We want them to show some commitment to the learning, to acquire that knowledge, to apply it, and then to demonstrate it. And we want that across our system. And we've already had individuals in campuses that are starting this work. But we know it's going to take time because we have 4,500 teachers. It's not something you turn. And this is building on a legacy of great teaching in Arlington. The next development of that is a learning cycle, active learning cycle. And so we have 2 teachers who work diligently along with other people on this active learning cycle. Are they here? If you are, would you stand? They don't want to? Yes, they are. All right, here we go. 2, more than 2. And so, anybody want the mic? They're all shaking their head no. No, because yeah. So thank you so much for that. It's really important to note that our teachers drive this work. We use research, best practices, but at the end of the day, our teachers drive instruction and teaching and learning. And so we're blessed to have outstanding educators like you every day working in the classroom for our students and developing these wonderful strategies for all the classrooms in Arlington. So within a couple of years, this will be pervasive in the system. And you'll be responsible for that. No pressure. Yeah. They got it right because they had a lot of input and they designed it with a lot of help from research. So thank you for helping us transform our district from the teacher level, which is outstanding. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to go all the way through right here. So our Education Foundation, they've already been mentioned. I want to mention them again. They hit their $2 million mark this year. They're sitting over there. Would you wave? Yeah. And it takes all of us, Brian and your board, Chad and others. Thank you for your commitment to public education in Arlington. Thank you for your vision, your fundraising, which you're pretty amazing at. Thank you for that, because our students benefit from your work. And you're not in the classroom, you're not teaching, but you're having an impact. And that's an inspiration for really all of us. And so as we have talked about our culture, teachers, students, principals, administrators, central staff, outside external entities like the Education Foundation is an example. The investment in Arlington ISD is tremendous. The human resource investment, the potential, the capital of human capital is tremendous. And so there's an organization that has recognized that. This is external of Arlington, has recognized that and has decided that they too are going to invest with us in this journey of exceptional education in Arlington. And so we're very blessed that we're one of 7 districts that was invested in and will be invested in for 5 years by HEB, central market for us, I guess, in many, and the Holdsworth Center. This is an effort by Charles Butt to invest in public education and to put a mark down and say, you know what? Leadership matters. Leadership in the classroom, in the campus, and in the district matters. It matters so much that if we don't invest in it, we cannot meet our goal. We believe the same thing. Our paths intersected at an outstanding time. because we believe the same thing. And so it's a 5-year commitment. And this was kind of risky because we invited them here. And so they get to see us, the family, but we're good, right? Yeah? Yeah. So Kate Rogers is the only one who tells Charles Butt what to do. Is that right, Kate? No, I shouldn't say things like that. No. Kate is the executive vice president, and Lindsay is the director of this Holdsworth Center that is investing in leadership in Arlington. And so, Kate, in the spirit of family, we've got a microphone. And so, Kate, just very quickly tell us why and what this is and what we expect.
Sure. So this feels a little bit like payback for making you tell your deepest, darkest secrets to the group during our time together in June, Marcelo. But
thank Kate, TMI.
Yeah, TMI. So basically, when we set about finding the first partner districts for Holdsworth, we were looking for 3 things. One was a strong leadership, cohesive team at central office, a district who had already prioritized the importance of leadership at all levels across the system, and a district who had a track record of implementing system-wide change with fidelity. So when we came to Arlington, we saw all of that in spades. So it is our great honor to be your partner over these next 5 years, and we're looking forward to welcoming the rest of your district team in September and your first group of principals in the summer.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Lindsay. And so the investment in leadership is tremendous by HEB and their resources. They've hired a staff. They have a center that they've created. They've already started with our leadership development, starting with the superintendent. So I have an executive coach, and some of you may say, well, it's about time. But I have an executive coach that's funded by HEB and the Holdsworth Center. We've gone through training for this summer. We're rolling out for our central staff and principals, and here's the key. The key is that it's about people. And the biggest investment we can have is with our people. And so as we close out today, I want to remind all of us that our goal is 100% of our students. And so when we talk about people, it's all of the students that we have to graduate exceptionally prepared. And that's a tall task. That's a challenge for all of us. But it's not beyond our reach. This is not beyond our reach. In fact, it's something we must do. As a responsible member of this country, we must ensure that our students are successful. And it takes all of us. It starts with classroom teachers, parents, etc. But it takes all of us. And so when we talk to Elias and others in our school system, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, when they come into our school system, the first day of school as elementary students, should not dwindle. So I'll say that again. When you come into kinder or pre-K or first grade, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, the same thing your parents have for you, should not dwindle as you go through a system. It should grow and expand. And that's our charge in Arlington ISD. That's our aim, that's our charge, that's something we must do. So that students not only have dreams and aspirations and hopes, but that they have the tools and the resources and the pathways to make those a reality. And make them a reality while they're with us. Begin that process of becoming real in terms of your dreams while you're with us. And so that's a tall order for Bill, Kabari, myself, and others, all of us who work in this space. But I'll share with you that as I visit with students throughout this great school district, they know that they're loved. And they know they're loved because you show it over and over and over again. And we build a culture, we're not perfect, but we build a culture where they feel that love, but not only do they feel loved, they feel like they have the resources, the tools to actually be successful. Every time a teacher, and any one of these teachers who stood up, anytime a teacher or somebody in our school system sees a student becoming successful, it's an inspiration. It's an inspiration. And it's an inspiration that keeps them going and driving, etc. So, on behalf of all the students that we serve, your commitment, my commitment, this wonderful Holdsworth and others who are committed with us. On behalf of all our students, we thank you, we depend on you, and we love you. Thank you. Apparently, I have one more slide. We have a couple of partners of the year that we always recognize this time of year, and so we're going to start with Fielder Church as a representative. Is he still here? Jason, come on up, Jason. We'll talk about you after you get up here. Jason and Fielder Church led the effort and continues to lead the effort financially and otherwise for our back-to-school fair at Texas, at AT&T Stadium. I want to call it Texas Stadium. They're not here either. AT&T Stadium, right? And so, Jason, thank you for that support, that show of love. And so we have perhaps something for you. Everybody know Jason? Yeah. Everybody. Yeah, right, Jason. Thank you so much for your partnership. All right, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And the next partner who is not here, but they certainly deserve the honor, and we'll present it to them as well. But it's the Dallas Cowboys, and without any real, joking about that, they are an outstanding partner with AISD. There are tours that they fund completely. They reimburse our transportation. All our fifth grade students, every one of them, does an art tour with docents, helps them learn, create, and also apply their learning. So the Dallas Cowboys, who are not here, they're at another event that's very significant. So with that due respect, so I thank the Dallas Cowboys. You can give them a round of applause. All right, Michael. Thank you.
Where potential gets real. All right, Arlington, we have the moniker American Dream City. That happened before I came to Arlington, and people ask me, what does that mean? And I know we've got America's team, we have American League champs, we've got American-built automobiles, all these things. But the way I quickly summarize that for people is, well, in Arlington, we dream big, but even more important than that, we realize those dreams, okay? We want every student, every child who lives in Arlington, who's walking around, we want them to dream big, where potential. We want them to realize those dreams gets real, right? So if we do that, if everybody in this room, if we partner together, the business communities, the foundation, which we heard about, HEB, which we greatly appreciate, the Chamber of Commerce, our elected officials, all of our business leaders, if we come together and really focusing in on just that, where potential gets real, I think at that point we'll be able to proudly say, and I think we can proudly say now, but we'll even be able to more proudly say what Dr. Aaron Reich said earlier. In fact, Arlington is the education destination. Thank y'all.